By the moonlit river, Segun spoke to Woon, the young warrior, bidding farewell until their paths crossed again. Woon expressed his wishes for Segun's safe journey and brought up a request. Segun assured Woon that he wouldn't forget the request, setting a promise between them as they parted ways. Seopong chuckled, contemplating his journey to the demonic cult, before correcting himself to the sun-moon divine cult. The Dark Lion unit cast a stern glance at Seopong, who swiftly amended his words. Ryuyan expressed enthusiasm, embracing the idea of embarking on a mission to save the world. Seopong responded to Ryuyan's belief in crossing boundaries with the power of another universe. He expressed skepticism about such notions, questioning the credibility of the idea if it hadn't been Woon who mentioned it. Suyin reflected on the enigmatic figure known as the Heavenly Lord, noting a sense of someone who had indeed transcended boundaries. Seopong dismissed the idea seriously, explaining that it might just be a clever formation or an exceptional technique that created the illusion of appearing out of nowhere. Sang, however, raised a thought-provoking question. Sang pondered the implications if the leader indeed perished and the Murim alliance fell into the grasp of the Grand Plan. The dire scenario painted a stark picture of the potential consequences, emphasizing the gravity of the situation and the looming threat faced by the group upon their return. Seopong voiced his concern, highlighting the risk they faced by associating with Woon, a member of the demonic cult. Sang, however, offered a different perspective. Sang pointed out that when Woon extended an opportunity to return to the alliance, Seopong was the one who declined it. Seopong shared his perspective, expressing his disdain for the hypocrites of the Murim alliance. He also reminded the group that Woon was the one who saved their lives in the tomb, their savior in a critical moment. Despite his reservations, Seopong expressed a willingness to believe in Woon. In the land of the Sun-Moon divine cult, Woon arrived with his allies, Jin and Wool, who warmly welcomed him. Jin addressed Woon, recognizing that he finally came back. Wool remarked on the passage of time since their last meeting, noting Woon's growing circle of friends. Woon, pleased to reunite with his siblings Wool and Jin, expressed a desire to catch up and share stories. However, he prioritized meeting the cult leader without delay, hinting at urgent matters that required his immediate attention within the cult's territory. In the Grand Palace of the Divine Cult, Hyukrian Moon, the cult leader, addressed Woon, acknowledging his efforts. Curious about the need for a private conversation, Hyukrian Moon inquired about the importance of their discussion. Woon explained that he sought to pose a question to the cult leader of the Sun-Moon Divine Cult, the Lord of all things, hence the request for privacy by asking everyone else to leave. Woon respectfully addressed Moon, the cult leader, seeking clarification on a matter of lineage, wondering if the Hyukrian clan was among the feudal clans of the ancient Daejeon country. Moon, intrigued by the query, sought to understand the source of this information. Woon paused before responding to Moon's question, expressing a desire to pose one of his own. Moon, open to hearing Woon's query, encouraged him to proceed. Woon raised a thought-provoking question about the Raho clan, known for their expertise in spells and calculations, traits that diverged from the divine cult's emphasis on strength. Despite being looked down upon by other clans, the Rahu clan remained among the respected 6 great clans without expulsion. Woon speculated on the Rahu clan's status, pondering if they were indeed one of the great clans of the ancient Daejeon country, possibly linked to the Yalu clan. In a quiet moment at the table, Woon and Moon enjoyed a cup of tea together. Moon, reflecting on recent revelations, remarked, "To think it was true." Curious, Woon inquired about the Hyukrian clan's lineage, questioning if they were truly descendants of the Daejeon country. Moon shared insights gained when assuming the patriarch position, mentioning that while the divine cult originated from the Ming dynasty, the Hyukrian clan historically held influence over the local forces in the Xinjiang area. Woon expressed surprise, asking Moon why this information wasn't widely known if he had learned it upon becoming the patriarch. Moon explained the secrecy, highlighting the dangers of widespread knowledge. He shared rumors about their original name not being Hyukrian, suggesting uncertainty and mystery surrounding their clan's history. Moon delved into ominous prophecies, mentioning the potential destruction if the Heavenly Lord returned and the significance of Urumqi as a pivotal location. He grappled with the weight of these revelations, questioning how to believe such profound and potentially catastrophic truths. In a moment charged with intensity, Moon questioned Woon about a crucial matter, demanding to know if the individuals in question were responsible for Yanawa's death. Woon, taken aback, responded with surprise, acknowledging that they claimed to have located a descendant with strong energy. Woon reflected on the situation, realizing that it might not have been himself, but rather his mother who possessed the formidable energy. Woon shared that the Grand Plan had been actively seeking out and punishing the descendants of traitors. He revealed that the Hyukrian clan was believed to be a branch of the Uchi clan, and their power had grown to a point where they were left untouched by those seeking retribution. Moon, acknowledging the information, prompted Woon to proceed with his inquiry. Moon rose with a surge of powerful energy, addressing Woon about the impending threat from the enemies and members of the Orthodox sect planning to attack. Moon's aura exuded strength as he questioned if it would be permissible to eliminate them all in defense. Woon, taken aback, responded cautiously, explaining that the situation was not as straightforward as resorting to killing them all. Woon elaborated on the chilling method by which the Heavenly Lord opened the door to another world, through the sacrifices of many lives. He explained that to tap into the power of this other world, a surge of negative emotions like anger, resentment, and fear from dying individuals was required, driving the desperation for wars. As the intense atmosphere subsided, Moon, now calmer, sought guidance on the next steps. Woon responded with gravity, emphasizing the importance of their mission to protect lives and prevent deaths, urging an effort to save people from the grim fate of becoming sacrifices. In the bustling setting of the Murim Alliance, the gathered crowd speculated on the purpose of the assembly and the significant number of people present. Rumors swirled among the onlookers, linking the meeting to the recent attack. Whispers spread through the crowd, noting the young warrior Kwang standing beside the alliance leader, who seemed familiar from working with Yoon before. Observers remarked on the noticeable change in Kwang's demeanor, sparking curiosity and intrigue among those present. Mok, the alliance leader but now as the thousand-faced fox Mok, addressed the assembled crowd. He spoke of the recent attack, attributing it to Yoon, the leader of the White Dragon group. As the audience absorbed this information, Mok unveiled a startling revelation. Mok disclosed that Yoon, aside from being a member of the demonic cult, held the significant position of its fourth young master. The people present reacted with shock and surprise at this unexpected and alarming revelation. In a bold declaration, the thousand-faced fox Mok addressed the crowd, expressing outrage over the infiltration of the demonic cult leader's son into the heart of the Murim Alliance, committing unforgivable acts against the Orthodox sections. Mok emphasized the need for action and unity, reminding the assembly of their allegiance under the banner of conquering demons. Mok introduced Kwang, who had once collaborated with Yoon but now stood against the lies and treachery, leading the charge against the demonic cult. As the alliance leader, Donli Moksong, he pledged to confront the cult directly in Xinjiang, seeking retribution for their disrespect towards the Murim Alliance. With determination in his voice, Mok rallied the heroes of Murim, calling for their support in the upcoming battle. The people of Murim responded with raised hands and voices, united in agreement to join the fight against the demonic cult, showcasing their unwavering resolve and solidarity in the face of adversity. As the Dark Lion unit assembled, Xian announced the arrival of their unit leader. The members of the unit saluted in respect, their attention focused on the figure standing before them, Woon, the fourth young master of the divine cult. In that moment, Woon reflected on the origins of the Dark Lion unit, created initially to protect himself from Kwang's threats. However, fate had led them to a different path, now standing together to fight for the salvation of the world instead. Gathering the troops, Woon addressed them with a sense of familiarity and respect. Acknowledging their hard work and dedication during his and Xian's absence, he praised their commitment to training under Secretary Zhang's guidance. Woon expressed confidence in the unit's preparedness and hinted at the challenges ahead. Despite their initial aspirations for a different mission, he emphasized the importance of their current task in Xinjiang, highlighting the noble mission of safeguarding lives while defeating the Grand Plan schemes. With a powerful encouragement, Woon raised hand. He rallied the troops, instilling them with courage and conviction. The unit responded in kind, raising their hands in readiness for the impending battle, united in their determination to showcase their strength and skills in the face of adversity. Suyin, impressed by Woon's speech, inquired if he planned to deliver a similar address to the troops. Woon, considering the request, questioned if everyone truly desired it, mindful of his revealed affiliation with the divine cult. Despite this revelation, Suyin pointed out that the troops present had placed their trust in Woon and had made the effort to gather here. Woon exclaimed and mentioned that he had something to offer, coinciding with Suyin's presence. Curious, Suyin inquired about it. Woon revealed the Ice Dragon sword, suggesting that it would be more suitable for Suyin to wield. Surprised by the gesture, Suyin hesitated, concerned about the implications of accepting such an important weapon. However, Woon reassured Suyin, mentioning that he still possessed another sword. As Suyin took hold of the sword and tested it, she politely asked for permission to try it out. Woon observed her with admiration, impressed by her remarkable fighting spirit and skill. Woon marveled at the sword's synergy with Suyin's martial arts, realizing the extent to which it complemented her abilities. Reflecting on the impact of the item, he pondered if he should have offered it sooner. Gratefully, Suyin expressed her thanks and assured Woon that she would make the most of the sword, signaling a newfound bond between them strengthened by the shared moment. As Woon questioned Suyin's acceptance of his affiliation with the divine cult, she responded with unwavering belief. Suyin expressed her conviction that Woon, both as the fourth young master of the divine cult and the young warrior Yoon she knew, was inherently the same person. She affirmed her belief in Woon's character, seeing him as a good person, which brought a smile to her face. Surprised by Suyin's trust and understanding, Woon felt a sense of gratitude. In response, he expressed a desire to share a story with her, hinting at a deeper connection and a willingness to open up about his past and experiences. In the solemn halls of the divine cult, Suyin inquired about Woon's intentions, prompting him to contemplate his decision. Woon, reflecting in his mind, pondered the consequences of bringing Suyin along, questioning his own judgment amidst the turmoil of the moment. Despite the uncertainties swirling in his thoughts, Woon recognized the gravity of their situation and the possibility of facing death in the upcoming battle. Determined to confide in Suyin, he resolved to reveal the truth about his identity, acknowledging that he was not the Hucrian Woon he appeared to be. With a sense of resolve, Woon decided to share the truth with Suyin, trusting in her ability to understand and accept his confession, even if met with disbelief. Woon expressed to Suyin the sincerity of his revelation, urging her to listen even if she found it hard to believe. He disclosed that his identity as Woon, the fourth young master of the divine cult, was not his true self. With honesty and vulnerability, Woon revealed that he was actually Lee from South Korea, drawn into the Murim world. He proceeded to share the extraordinary tale of how he found himself immersed in the Murim world, opening up about his journey. In response to Woon's revelation, Suyin admitted her struggle to fully accept the unexpected truth. She expressed disbelief at the notion of Woon being guided by an unknown force from another world to their Murim realm. Suyin contemplated the implications of existing within the world of the novel written by Lee Si-won, recognizing the surreal nature of these circumstances. Woon reflected on his initial thoughts, acknowledging that the world he found himself in differed significantly from the novel he had written. He discovered many unknown stories and realized that this world was beyond what he had envisioned in his writing. The title of his novel, The Way of a Hero, held a mysterious power over him, with words flowing effortlessly as if he were possessed during its creation. This experience left him questioning his role as the author of the novel. Serious and contemplative, Suyin proposed a thought-provoking idea to Woon. She suggested that perhaps the world had used him as a conduit to write the words of the novel. This notion caught Woon by surprise, raising new questions about the nature of his connection to the world and the mysterious forces at play. Woon, contemplating Suyin's insight, admitted that he had never considered this perspective but acknowledged that it could indeed be true. Suyin's question about why the world had brought him there prompted Woon to reflect further. In his thoughts, Woon connected the dots, realizing the peculiar events that occurred upon his arrival in the world. From boxes inexplicably falling to a laptop mysteriously turning on, he began to see a pattern of strange occurrences. If everything had been orchestrated from the moment he wrote The Way of a Hero, Woon questioned why he had been chosen for this journey. As Woon and Suyin delved into their discussion, their conversation was abruptly interrupted by a call from Jang. Jang relayed urgent news that an individual claiming to be the young patriarch of the Sichuan Tang clan had arrived with a man, intending to deliver something of utmost importance to Woon. In Woon's mind, a sense of anticipation and urgency surged as he realized the arrival of these unexpected visitors. In the training cave, Segun and Jichin observed Woon in a training position, noting his less-than-ideal appearance even while holding the legendary Taiji Divine Pill. Woon reflected on the nature of the Taiji Divine Pill, an elixir of yin and yang crafted by combining the ice crystal from the nest and the Tang clan's 10,000 years flower. This potent elixir could only be created using the Tang clan's closely guarded technique. Despite receiving it with Segun's assistance, Woon pondered the untimely arrival of the young patriarch and his companion while he was in the midst of a confession to Suyin. Jichin urged Woon to either take the Taiji Divine Pill or pass it on to him if he didn't wish to consume it. Feeling hesitant, Woon hesitated momentarily before asserting that he would indeed take the elixir. Woon recognized that it was not the appropriate moment to be caught up in romantic thoughts. Jichin shared his insightful perspective, revealing the Heavenly Lord's true intentions for the destruction of Xinjiang, or potentially the entire Murim. He had initially hoped that the Heavenly Lord would restore peace by reviving the Dejiang country after regaining strength, but instead, the Heavenly Lord's actions were driven by vengeance, leading to devastation. Jichin emphasized the importance of the Yelu clan's secret manual in countering the source of the Heavenly Lord's power, acknowledging Woon as the sole bearer of this crucial knowledge. Segun observed Jichin's support and guidance towards Woon in his training, impressed by the exchange of energy before him. Jichin's voice resonated with a powerful energy aura as he declared as a divine supreme that he would help Woon absorb the Taiji divine pill's power. He urged Woon, as the fourth young master of the demonic cult, to stop the Heavenly Lord's plans and protect the Murim world. As the cult leader, Moon, and the young cult leader, Jin, led the divine cult army towards the Murim Alliance army, Jin expressed his disdain for the orthodox sect's members who were easily manipulated. He voiced concerns about whether they could avoid killing them until Woon emerged from the training cave. Moon, taken aback by Jin's half-hearted tone, emphasized the need to swiftly deal with the enemy before Woon's emergence. Jin agreed with Moon's decisive approach, aligning their strategies to ensure swift action against their adversaries. Moon rallied the divine cult army, declaring, "This is Urumqi, the land of our divine cult. Though we can't kill our foes, we can show them a lesson they won't forget." In a vengeful aura, Moon emphasized that any form of attack was acceptable as long as their enemies were not killed. The divine cult troops echoed Moon's sentiments with fervor, expressing their agreement and readiness to engage in battle, united in their resolve to defend their land and assert their dominance without resorting to lethal force. As the Murim Alliance charged towards the divine cult, the thousand-faced fox, Mach, let out a resounding cry, proclaiming their mission to be immortalized as the heroes who triumphed over the demonic cult. Fearlessly, they surged forward, urged by Mach's rallying call. Mach leaped towards Moon, initiating a fierce confrontation. Moon, showcasing his formidable skills, engaged in combat with Mach, each displaying their prowess in the intense battle. Meanwhile, members of the Murim Alliance and the divine cult clashed in a tumultuous fight, each side fighting fervently for their cause. In the midst of the intense battle, Moon confronted Mach, questioning his identity as the supposed fake leader of the Murim Alliance and demanding to know the whereabouts of his true superior. In response, Mach refuted Moon's accusation, asserting himself as the legitimate leader of the Great Murim Alliance, dispelling any doubts about his authority. Meanwhile, Jin engaged in a fierce confrontation with the enigmatic figure known as the Divine Monarch. Jin inquired whether the old man was the same formidable individual Woon encountered in the tomb, seeking clarity on his identity. The old man, taken aback by Jin's disrespectful remark, rebuked him for his lack of manners and challenged him to test his skills against the sharpness of his tongue, highlighting the tension and clash of egos of the members of the demonic cult. In the heat of battle, Will challenge Biryong for using a zither on the battlefield, questioning the practicality of such an instrument in combat. Unfazed, Biryong responded that there was no reason why she couldn't utilize the zither in battle, showcasing her unique approach to warfare. Elsewhere, Ryuyin and Seopong engaged in combat against the Murim Alliance, while Dampyong from the Dark Lion unit and Xian demonstrated their skills in battle. Meanwhile, Carl from the Grand Plan confronted Suyin, expressing surprise at their unexpected reunion in such circumstances. Suyin, emanating a powerful aura while wielding the Ice Dragon sword, issued a chilling challenge to Carl, questioning the endurance of his seemingly confident demeanor in the face of their conflict. In the midst of the chaotic battle, Jin found himself locked in combat with the enigmatic old man. The old man's skills posed a threat to both the Murim Alliance and the Divine Cult troops, capable of causing harm to anyone in his path. However, Jin swiftly leaped to evade the attack, shielding both allies and enemies from harm. Impressed by Jin's actions, the old man remarked on Jin's uncommon valor in protecting even his foes, expressing surprise at the unexpected righteousness displayed within the demonic cult. In Jin's thoughts, he observed the old man's ruthless attacks and realized that the situation could take a dangerous turn if the onslaught continued unchecked. However, he also recognized that the old man's inability to indiscriminately harm others might work in his favor. As Moon skillfully struck Mach, sending him crashing to the ground, a startling transformation occurred. Mach's face shifted, revealing a different face, leaving the Murim Alliance troops astonished by the unexpected change. In a vengeful and powerful aura, Moon demanded answers from the transformed Mach, questioning his true identity and intentions. He pressed Mach to reveal the whereabouts of his superior, warning of dire consequences if he chose to withhold the information. The thousand-faced fox commended Moon's skill despite taking over an empty position. Before Moon could question further, a man suddenly shouted and pointed out something. A bright light from the sky illuminated the grand palace of the divine cult as the thousand-faced fox announced the opening of the gate of heaven. Xiaopong, visibly concerned, wondered if this was what Woon had mentioned, while Wu, in a fit of anger, questioned what lay above the divine palace. As Jean battled the old man, he contemplated the absence of the figure known as the Heavenly Lord on the battlefield. He questioned if the divine palace was the Heavenly Lord's true objective all along. The Heavenly Lord, residing within Kwang's body, expressed disdain for the demonic cult's efforts to stop his plans. He criticized their lack of proper defenses at the altar and their audacity to construct a palace where his altar once stood, referring to them as insects. Despite this, he ominously declared that everything would soon return to its rightful place, hinting at dire consequences. He ominously mentioned that some would lose their lives in the upcoming conflict, and after the ceremony, no one would remain standing in the entire Central Plains. As the sky began to crack, signaling an impending shift in the events unfolding. As Woon and Jichin neared the Heavenly Lord, Woon remarked on the absence of the true house owner. He questioned the propriety of intruding without permission, likening it to a guest recklessly barging into someone's home. In response, the Heavenly Lord addressed Woon and Jichin as traitors, offering to spare their lives if they departed immediately. Unmoved by the offer, Woon retorted, condemning the Heavenly Lord for inhabiting another's body and invading others' homes, questioning the audacity of being told to leave by such a trespasser. The Heavenly Lord, in response to Jichin's defense, coldly pronounced a sentence of death. He unleashed a skillful sword strike aimed at Woon, but Jichin valiantly intercepted the attack, sacrificing himself in the process. As Jichin staggered back, crashing into the wall and then to the ground, the Heavenly Lord scornfully labeled him a fool for standing in defense of Woon. He mocked Jichin for his perceived betrayal and futile attempt to protect Woon, deriding him as someone who should have remained hidden like a dead rat after supposedly turning against him. In a sudden move, Woon leaped from behind the Heavenly Lord to launch an attack, but the Lord skillfully defended himself. Acknowledging Woon's changed fighting spirit, the Heavenly Lord remarked on the shift in his demeanor. Woon, with a hint of humor, thanked the Lord for noticing the change and teasingly mentioned his increased height. He then boldly requested the return of the stolen body. In his thoughts, Woon reflected on the assistance received from Yuchi Tian, enabling him to absorb the energy of the Taiji Divine Pill fully. Similar to the character Kwang in the novel, Woon had undergone a complete body reconstruction, emerging stronger than ever. With this newfound strength, Woon felt confident in his ability to emerge victorious in the confrontation. As Woon and Kwang engaged in a fierce battle, showcasing their formidable skills, Jichin observed the showdown with keen interest. In his contemplation, he noted how Woon, who had managed to escape the prophecy, had emerged even stronger than before. This newfound strength meant that even the Heavenly Lord would need to remain vigilant and cautious. However, Jichin couldn't help but notice the seemingly relaxed expression on the Heavenly Lord, who currently inhabited Kwang's body. This calm demeanor amidst the intense combat raised questions and added an air of mystery to the unfolding confrontation. In the midst of their intense battle, Woon called out to Kwang, questioning his continuous retreat. Kwang, resolute, denied the notion of backing down and unleashed a powerful skill that sent Woon flying through the air. Confounded by Kwang's unexpected strength, Woon's mind raced in disbelief at the power displayed by his adversary, the Heavenly Lord.